Okay, welcome to Ribbon. This is the Module 1 quiz. So you go into Basic Concepts and you click on a Module 1 quiz at the bottom. Okay, so as you can see, we're on our first question and we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We have 5. Okay, I expect you to actually go through this by yourself or stop and pause for every question I do. All right, so let's actually start with the first question. It says rearrange the code to create a valid program. All right, so here's our code. We rearrange it, and then when we're done, we click the green arrow. All right, so let's actually work on this question. All right, so we know that if we want to run a code, it must have the method and a function of main. So we know that this is first, right? And we have a string, and then we have console write line, all right? So which one comes first? All right, if you said string, you are right, because the string comes first, so that the variable is declared with hello and it has a value. Now we have a closing bracket. Well, we know the closing bracket is at the end of our program. The open bracket is the start and the closing bracket is the end. So we know this goes down here. All right, and to check this, all we have to do is go to Visual Studio. Okay, so as you can see, we have our message string, and then we have our console write line. We have our static void main. All right, so we're gonna start debugging it and see if it works. Okay, and as you can see, it does work. Okay, so go back to Solar and we check the green arrow, and it's correct. Okay, next question. It says drag and drop from the options below to display the value of X on the screen. So we want to display X. Okay, so we have static void blank, and then down here we have 2 more blanks. Okay, so we know that we need a main method, so we know that's first, right? And integer x equals 4 plus 3, and then in parentheses, and then times 2, all right? That's going to be 7, and then 7 times 2 would be 14. So we want to display x, okay? So we know that to display something, we want to write line. So we know it's console first, then write line, okay? And let's see if that's right. And I hope you get this. We went through all this through basic concepts. So if you're struggling with something, just comment below and ask, all right? Okay, so next we have what is the output of this code. Okay, so we have integer a is equal to 4, integer b is equal to 6, and then b is equal to a plus plus, and that's the post increment, and it's console write line, and then the pre increment of b. So it's assigning b. Okay, so b is equal to a, so it'll be 4 because it's going to assign this first to b before it adds 1. Okay, so that'll be, so b will be changed to 4, and then it's going to move to the next line. It's going to plus 1, right? And then it's going to move to the next line, So I would say it's, and then it's, this one is actually pre, so it should be 5 because it's going to be 1 plus 4 equals B, because this right here is saying plus A is equal to A plus 1, which would be 5 as well. So let's see. B should be 5. I hope you understand that. And it's correct. Move to the next question. This is fill in the blanks to declare two variables of type integer and display their sum to the screen. Okay, so we want to declare two variables of type integer, and we want to display their sum, which is basically adding them together. So we have x equals 8 and y equals 15. Okay, so we're missing something right here. What do you think that is? If you said a data type, you'll be right. It's integer. Okay, int. And then for our console write line method, okay, we have x blank y. Well, we know we need the sum, so we're going to have to add them together. Okay, so let's see if that's right. What do you know? That's correct. Okay, so this one says, what is the output of this code? This is the last question. Okay, so we have integer x equals 15, integer y equals 6, and it says x modulus or equal to y. And this percentage sign is the remainder. Now, if you don't know how to do long division, I suggest you go back to basic concepts and you look for the operators, okay? So I'm going to stop and pause this video and show you how to do long division. Okay, and this is basically how you're going to do this problem, okay? Integer x equals 15, integer y equals 6. So it's saying x modulus or equal to y. So it's dividing the lowest number, 6, by 15. Is what we have right here. Okay, so how many times can 6 go into 15? Okay, 6 can go into 15 2 times, right? Because 6 times 2 is 12. And you can't go higher than 15. So we say 6 times 2 is 12, so we know that's 2, and we bring down the 12 under the 15, and we subtract it. And that's how we find our remainder. Okay, so 15 minus 12 should be 3, and that is the remainder. So it would look like basically it looked like something like this. X equals actually just forget that section and just focus on the remainder. Right, we have 3. All right, now we'll debug and see if that's the right answer. Okay, so now you can see that we have 3 on our debug. So we know that the answer is 3. We go back to Sollearn and we click it 3. And that's correct. Okay. Now that you're done basic concepts, next we're moving on to conditional and loops. All right.